A club with immense history in which has donned legends of the game, a passionate fan base to contend with, and a team that has come close over the past few years but has failed to relive the success of the Maradona era and co. It was now the Golazzo era. The owner had mad expectations for us to win the Champions League in a few seasons, and with the sales of Dries Mertens, Fabian Ruiz, Lorenzo Insigne, Kalidou Koulibaly and Amas, a big rebuild was underway. Kvaratskhelia had already been nicknamed Kvaradona by the Napoli faithful, and the signings of Mela, Brecalo and Pobega were brought in to further bolster the squad depth. Now what tactic would we use? A 4-3-3 system focusing on shorter passing, wide men cutting in and late midfield runners. The start of the season was tricky with Roma our challengers. We took the lead through Victor Osimhen from a corner kick, and then Zielinski would pounce on a small mistake to slide in Osimhen to give us the 2-0 victory. The challenges kept on coming with AC Milan next on our radar. Kvaratskhelia would cross into Victor Osimhen for the opener to put us 1-0 ahead. A through ball over the top by Di Silvestri would put Osimhen in for his second to double our lead. AC Milan however would pull a goal back late on through Leao, but this goal wouldn't be enough to turn things around. Victor Osimhen was proving himself to be a menace to all opposition in Serie A as the goals continued. He ruthlessly put the sword into Bologna, getting himself a hat-trick in a 3-2 win and his 7th goal in 3 games. He had been responsible for all of our goals so far and was sitting top of the table and the goal scoring charts. He would prove to be our talisman for all of the season and was always there when we needed him most, getting us out of many sticky situations.
In the castle, king in the castle.
Another mammoth-sized game with Juventus up next. Lobotka, what a strike, get in there. Lobotka turns provider this time with a great cross to Lozano, 2-0. Great link-up play by Juve here, into Locatelli. How is that squeezed in there? What a joke. Kostic and Vlahovic with a nice 1-2 here. Vlahovic is through. Goal, 2-2, they're level. Zielinski charging in the box. The ball loops up. Osimhen goal, who else? 3-2. With a win against Sampdoria, we were now 5-5 at the top of the table. We were handed the group of death in the Champions League. Lucas Hernandez would receive a red card for Bayern before the end of the first half, and we would then capitalise on this, grabbing a goal immediately as Raspadori went round the keeper and got us the victory. Next up we face bottom of the league Cremosoni. Surely a routine win, right? Wrong. They beat us 2-0 in true FM style, handing us our first league defeat.
Jesus!
Our Champions League journey continued with a tough trip to Anfield in which Luis Diaz gave Liverpool an early goal. Salah then doubled Liverpool's lead, leaving us 2-0 inside the first 10 minutes of the game. We would then go on to pull a goal back through a Romani header from a corner. However, this joy would not last long as Liverpool once again had a 2-goal cushion due to a Firmino goal. Thiago put the game to bed with a close range finish, with Romani grabbing a late consolation goal and his second of the evening. Positive results would continue in Serie A, with a goalless draw versus Fiorentina the only slip up. Alisson comes rushing out, Politano into Osimhen, Alisson's out of his goal, 1-0 Napoli, get in there. Osimhen would then double his goal tally for the game to secure the win and qualify us from the group. This meant that we only needed a draw in the final game against Munich. Lazio would then hand us our second league defeat of the season with a last minute strike from Romero to break our hearts. An immediate bounce back would be tough as Inter Milan were next on the radar. They would go on to take the lead through Lautaro Martinez. Our misery would be intensified as Lukaku nodded home from a corner to make it 2-0. However, we was able to pull a goal back through our main man Victor Osimhen. Nice build-up play here from Napoli, knocking it about nicely. Penalty! Osimhen, 2-2, never in doubt. Another set-piece goal from Inter, just as we equalised. Of course, I can't believe it. Bayern would come next for the battle for group leader. Gnabry would put them 1-0 ahead with an emphatic finish. Osimhen would pull us level from the spot. Drawing the game 1-1 at the 90 minutes mark, Lozano would give away a penalty which handed us our third straight defeat. We still won the group however and would be drawn against Marseille. We need a win now. Are you kidding me? 1-0 to Udinese. What is happening to us? Come on, we need a goal now. It's now or never. Politano, goal! Get in there. Oh no, it's going to VAR. Goal disallowed. 4 defeats in 4 for us now. With a terrible run of form, pressure from the supporters, and Napoli's Curvanod losing their patience.
It's time to go!
The pressure was now on for Galazzo FM.
It's time to go!
With 3 back-to-back defeats, we was in a terrible run of form and the pressure was definitely beginning to pile on. We really needed a positive result against Torino in our first game back. However, it would get off to an awful start as Torino went 1-0 up in this game. We did manage to pull it level 1-1 with a superb equaliser. However, Torino would then retake the lead once again after a big mix-up at the back. Panic was now starting to set in for Napoli. Raspadori did manage to put us level, however, which reignited the comeback as goals from Lozano and a Raspadori second would seal the win for us, finally putting an end to our bad run of form. Despite the win, I was not liking what I was seeing, so I revamped the tactics and I made an array of sales to raise funds. Zerbin, Jesus, Gaetano, Oliveira and Demi would all be sold for a combined 20 million.
Here comes the money.
Grimaldo would then be our marquee signing. Oh no, he won't. Damn it! Gomez on loan it is. Our form had then improved drastically, which included a 1-0 victory against AC Milan. Please tell me in the comments if you have seen anything as crazy as this. How did the ball not go in? A 5-2 win versus Verona followed, however this was tainted by a terrible clash of kits. A switch to 2D Classic was needed, which was a flashback from the past. I did low-key kinda like it though. Next, Lozano would miss an early penalty against Inter, which was then punished by Thomas Lemar. However, we was able to pounce back with a great goal from Napolitano, who rounded the keeper to put us 1-0 ahead. Osimhen would then bundle the ball over the line to give us the lead in this top of the table clash. Going into the 94th minute, we was 2-1 up, surely with this game won. However, Edin Dzeko had other ideas. Marseille would be comfortably beaten in the round of 16 Champions League tie, and then Benfica would follow suit, with the tie pretty much over after the first leg victory by us. A good run of form ensured that the title race was now hotting up, with only 5 points the gap at the top of the table. With Atalanta dropping points versus Roma, a victory against Udinese would shorten the gap to 3. The small matter of a Champions League semi-final was next, with European and Spanish giants Barcelona our opposition. Ansu Fati would go on to give Barcelona the lead in the tie. but we did equalise throughout great work from Di Silvestri down the right and Zielinski there to finish it off. Our key man Kvaratskhelia would pick up an injury that would keep him out for the rest of the season, and our pain was furthered as Lewandowski then put Barcelona ahead. We did, however, level once again through substitute Raspadori, and we even managed to take the lead late on through a Victor Osimhen header. Our luck was not to continue though, as Osimhen was denied a clear penalty in my opinion in the dying moments of the game. We was then able to compose ourselves and carry on playing, in which we managed to score a goal. However, VAR would deny us once again. No! Kvaratskhelia injury would keep him out of the running, and his goals and creativity from the wing would be sorely missed. With a few injuries in the squad, Østigård got a rare start at the back and put us 1-0 ahead against Empoli. Empoli, however, would prove not to be pushovers and would grab a goal back immediately. Empoli then managed to shock us all by getting a goal to put them ahead after an Østigård missed interception as he turned hero to villain. We made some late substitutions and one of them turned to be the hero. Summer signing Josip Brekalo, who had struggled to break into the team, managed to get us the equaliser, and he would go on to double his tally, getting us a late winner which now put us top of the league.
We're top of the league! We're top of the league!
The second leg against Barcelona got off to an awful start as Dembele put the visitors ahead and made the tie level and aggregate. We thought we had regained the lead through a Zielinski goal, however VAR would prove to be our nemesis once again, chalking the goal off. It was hearts in mouth moments at the end of the 90 as Lewandowski went agonisingly close for Barca managed to put on the pressure in extra time and took the lead with Alex Merritt dropping an absolute clanger in their Napoli net. Ansu Fati would go on to get another goal for Barcelona, and despite Zielinski pulling one back, it wasn't going to be enough. We out-exchanged them, but with key decisions going against us, it wasn't going to be our time. With us crashing out of Europe, we needed to pick ourselves back up in the league, and Lozano would give us an early lead versus Salentina. However, it was not going to be an easy afternoon for us. Salentina would equalise and would then later go ahead in this game. We did manage to make the game level, however. Italian veteran Candreva would give them the lead once again and leave the Napoli's faithful speechless.
Just, I'm stunned.
We was now 1 point behind Atalanta, although their own form had been awful with no wins in 5. The top of the table clash started great with an early Osimhen goal for Napoli. However, in the 81st minute against a run of play, Boga was there to equalise into the empty net, meaning the title race was no longer in our hands.
Oh, you're having a laugh! You're having a laugh!
Osimhen was dominating Serie A and we would need him in the final game. We did our job and got the win, but would this be enough to be crowned Serie A champions? God damn it! Atalanta broke our hearts at the end of last season, pipping us to the Serie A title, in which we were so close to winning, yet so far. This season's objective was clear: Serie A champions. We would wave goodbye to an array of players. Lozano went to West Ham for 20 million, Lobotka went to Spurs for 40 million, Politano was sold for 30 million, and Rui left for Zenit, which meant we had made 90 million through sales this summer. With all the sales, incomings were needed, and we started with Gagliardini and Carnesecchi on free transfers, Verratti to replace Lobotka, Shelder up for 7.5 million, Scalvini for 30 million to bolster the defence, Berardi to replace Politano, and DeMarco at left back.
Here we go.
And then there was star signing James Maddison for 40 million from a relegated Leicester City. We would continue the season with the same tactic that we finished the season with, and would start the season without our star player Osimhen. A trip to the San Siro was up first, and we started superbly through a Raspadori goal. Maddison would then double our lead on his debut, with Anguissa putting us 3 ahead inside the first half, although Leao did get a late consolation goal. Our early season form was good as we faced last season's champions next. They had drew their last 5, so we was hoping to break that spell. Maybe not then. Up next were Cremazzoni, who had shocked us last season with a 2-0 victory against us. We would be out for a revenge this time out. Maddison would give us the early lead, however they managed to equalise and officially become our bogey team. Not again. We would stay undefeated in the league until the winter break, in which we was offered a new contract at the club. Don't mind if I do. Victor Osimhen would win the World Player of the Year after a superb 18 months in Naples. Spezia would give us our first real test after the break and would take the lead inside the first minute. We would then draw level through Osimhen's effort. However, they would take the lead again after some shambolic defending.
Oh, you're having a laugh!
Summer signing Berardi would pull us level, but we was unable to take the whole 3 points. With our squad ravaged with injuries, we was only able to field 3 outfield subs against Empoli. Luckily for us, this was not a problem, with both Osimhen and Verratti at the double. Zaniolo would give Roma the lead, but we responded with a DiMarco cross that was met with Osimhen to bring us level. Let's go! Merritt would then drop his annual howler and give Roma the lead again.
Absolutely shit. You know, it's like a field full of cows on laxatives. Absolutely shit.
Ostigard, no! What are you doing, you idiot? Kvaratskhelia, what can he do? Raspadori! Let's go! We still remained unbeaten, however we would face Milan in the Coppa Italia, who knocked us out at the same stage last year. The game would go to a penalty shootout. Ballon d'Or winner Osimhen up first. Oh, he misses! Biraghi slots home for AC Milan. Berardi, smooth penalty, draws us level. Ibra, never going to miss, was he? Shelder up. Oh my goodness, no! Kier. Oh, we're done for here. James Maddison keeps us in the tie. Raspadori. Not again. I've not seen penalties as bad as this since Baggio in '94. Next we faced Udinese, who had lost their last 5 games. Routine win, right? Wrong. Zielinski would miss an early penalty, and then success would get in behind to put them ahead. We did pull a goal back through Osimhen, but Udinese would take the lead straight after to give them the win and our first League L of the season. We would bounce back strongly, going on a good run of form, but would be without 3 key players against title rivals Inter. We did manage to take the lead in this game, but our summer target Coleman would draw into level. We was made to rue turning up the opportunity to sign him, as he then got a second and won the game for Inter. Our lead at the top was cut to 2 points with 8 games to go. We would draw Manchester City in the Champions League quarter-finals. Facing Haaland was a daunting prospect, however we did get 4 points against them in the group stage, in a group that we topped, therefore confidence was high. That confidence was misleading as City blitzed through us. Stop! Just please stop! I beg! Stop! No! Please! City dominated and Osimhen went missing in a big game. We would need to pick ourselves up for the second leg, and we would start to hope after taking the lead. We would then get a second late on, but City would reply with 2 goals at the death. We did manage to get the winner, but we was out and our European dream was now officially over. Vlahovic had been taking Serie A by storm, and we had the job of keeping him quiet next. Osimhen would put us 1 ahead, and Berardi would soon make that 2. Osimhen finished proceedings with his second, giving us a comfortable win against Juve. 5 games to go, we was 3 points ahead, but Inter had a game in hand, but with 2 0-0 draws against poor opposition, Inter were now in the driving seat, sitting 4 points behind us with 2 games in hand. Inter would, however, run into trouble, as draws against Sampdoria and AC Milan followed for them. Our toughest game in the title running was next. Mr. Dependable Osimhen put us ahead with a scruffy finish. After great pressing, we would then get a second through Giacomo Raspadori, and this goal would ultimately be enough after Tammy drew a goal back from the spot. With our win, Inter needed a win to stay in the fight. However, Cittadella would get a shock win, which would now gift us the Serie A title. Napoli were once again champions of Italy for the first time since the Maradona era. Let's go! 5 points was the gap at the end, and we would dominate the team of the year with our solid defence and potent attack. The Champions League was next on our list, but are we capable of winning it?
To win, fuck, I don't know.
Domestic dominance was now established in Italy as we won both the Supercoppa and Serie A for a second time, dominating the league. We should be talking about a domestic treble right now, as in the Coppa Italia semi-final versus Inter Milan, Victor Osimhen scored a hat-trick, giving us a 3-0 lead going into the second leg of this tie. What could go wrong from here, I hear you ask? Everything! What an utter shit show it was, as Inter absolutely dominated us, and that man again, Kingsley Coman, who we passed up the opportunity to sign, coming back to haunt me in every possible way, as he scored a hat-trick and helped Inter to win the game 4-0 as they qualified for the final. I guess we haven't truly dominated Italy then. Our summer window strategy included adding more depth to the squad as we signed Rualt and Bellanova. But Klopp's Liverpool would have their wicked way with us, beating us to our 3 main key summer targets, Fernandes, Szoboszlai and Gakpo, which led us scrambling at the end of the window to secure the signings of Anthony on loan and Cassere for centre midfield. Not the ideal summer window. Champions League was our main focus during this season, and we would put all of our eggs into this basket. The new format took some getting used to, but we started off brilliantly with a 1-0 win over Arsenal. It felt like deja vu against Chelsea next, however Osimhen would fail to convert his penalty, ensuring the game fizzled out 0-0. Celtic away were up next, a horrible place to visit for any team on a cold European night in Glasgow. We would take the lead in this game, but Celtic would peg a goal back immediately. We would then reassert our dominance. With a goal from Osimhen, Romani would round off the goals in this game, making us 3-1 victors. Please subscribe to the channel, drop the video a like, it means more to me than you will ever know. Back to the video. Club Brugge was swept away with ease, with Real Madrid at the Bernabeu up next. They would take the lead from the spot, but we would reply through our Georgian star to earn a valuable point. We were performing well against some of the top European sides, so confidence was high when we visited Anfield. They had already beat us to several summer signings, and this seemed to motivate them to humiliate us further, as they were knocking goals past us for fun. This was our first real humbling experience in this year's Champions League, and of course, Liverpool were the team to deliver it. We were sitting outside the automatic spots by 2 points going into the final 2 games. First was Bodo Glimt, who we should really be beating convincingly. And this is exactly what happened. They were truly no match for us, and we were knocking goals past them for fun. Many players managed to get themselves onto the score sheet, but it was Giacomo Raspadori who stole the show, grabbing an amazing 4 goals as we ended up winning the game 9-0. That result did not flatter us as we dominated and was clinical throughout. The final game came against Real Sociedad and they proved to be no match for us at all. This game was dominated by our English playmaker James Maddison, who helped himself to his first Napoli hat-trick. Despite some really tough fixtures, we managed to qualify in 7th place. This meant we skipped the round of 32 and went straight to the round of 16 versus Villarreal. Osimhen would grab the opener. Our other star player Kvaratskhelia then got himself a goal. Osimhen would then pounce on a defensive error which made us 3-0 victors. Get in! After a comfortable first leg performance, the pressure was totally off us for this second leg. Summer signing loanee Anthony would prove to be the difference this time, as he grabbed both the first and second goal of the game to put the game completely out of reach. Kvaratskhelia would get our third before Villarreal pulled back a late consolation goal. First rivals Inter Milan were next in the quarter-finals. Could we get our revenge for the Coppa Italia humiliation? The first leg started off in similar fashion to the Coppa Italia semi-final first leg. We took the lead through Scalvini. Shelderup was there to add a second, and then Zielinski got a goal to replicate a first leg 3-0 win. Surely we can't lose 4-0 again. Inter did take the lead through Martinez's strike, but this wasn't going to be enough as the game ended 1-0, which meant that we progressed to the semi-finals against Man City. We were at full strength, so had no excuses, and we started superbly with a goal of the season contender from Kvaratskhelia. Joao Cancelo would then make our job a lot easier as he picked up a second yellow card and was sent off. We did manage to capitalise on this and got a second goal through Osimhen. However, we should have really done more damage in this game. The second leg got off to a bad start as Foden put City ahead early doors, which really put us under pressure. However, when Haaland was subbed off, I thought this was really going to be our day. However, after some good work by Sloppy, Asensio would then find himself completely free to grab an equaliser. Where was the defence? No. City with the corner. Laporte! No! Last minute winner!
Emotional damage.
Our hopes of conquering Europe have gone up into flames. If you are enjoying the content, then please subscribe to the channel and drop a like on this video. It is truly appreciated.